All right, let's go to this story now. Former Police Commissioner Khomotso Phahlane and his 5 co-accused were back in court today. They face charges of fraud, corruption, money laundering, theft and the contravention of the Public Finance Management Act. Phahlane says he is being set up and has approached the public protector for help. To tell us more, I am joined by senior reporter Silindelo Masikane, who's following that story for us. Sli, I understand it was a very brief appearance in court today. What happened?
Very brief appearance in the Specialized Commercial Crimes Court here in Pretoria, where Phahlane and 5 others made their second appearance in connection in the matter of course, that they're accused of fraud and corruption pertaining to surveillance equipment that was procured back in 2015-2016 around the Fees Must Fall protests. And to this day, of course, we know that Phahlane maintains his innocence and says that he is being essentially framed by other cops inside the police services, saying that he did nothing wrong in terms of contravening any of the conditions in the PFMA Act. And so what we saw today was the state then telling the court that they have furnished legal representatives with the contents of the docket, and that a postponement date had been agreed upon, but that between now and then, of course, there would be more communication around the fact that we do have new lawyers or new attorneys representing accused number 3 as well as accused number 7 in this matter. So they will also now be furnished with the contents of the docket. And what defense attorneys really were telling the court was once more raising the issue around the fact that they believe that the state is dragging its feet pertaining to this case, saying that this matter dates back to 2017, which is about 5 years. And they find it peculiar that only now in September were their clients then arrested for this matter. But the state then raising the issue around the fact that while investigations had in earnest begun in 2017, those who are accused were actually still in office and were actually frustrating the process and investigations. In fact, halting them, according to the state prosecutor, which is why some of the documents which were needed, which were still classified, had to be declassified in order for investigations and for prosecutions to take place. We now had an opportunity to speak to one of the defense attorneys for the accused around the concerns of how long this matter is taking to get to trial phase. Let's take a listen.
Firstly, I can confirm my appearance on behalf of General Magelo, who is cited as accused number 7 in the draft indictment. Firstly, on her behalf, we do not have the contents of the docket yet. However, the state has undertaken, and I have no reason to doubt that they would comply. They gave an undertaking to give me the docket, which they say is quite voluminous, by the end of next week, whereafter I would obviously go through it and see whether or not there are any further particulars that I might request. So in fairness to the state, I cannot attribute the delay to them, other than to place on record that this matter comes as far back as 2016, and to the extent that it's such an old matter, there is a concern that our clients' rights could be adversely affected. But look, I'm new in the matter, so I'm in no position to complain about any delays. But the matter has been provisionally postponed to the 30th of January to enable us as legal representatives and the state to get our act together in terms of making sure that everybody has got the docket. Secondly, the state must make up their mind whether or not this matter is staying here in the regional court or is going to be transferred in the High Court.
And Sli, what's the state saying about its strength in this case?
Well, it maintains that it has a very strong case against the accused, saying that the concerns around the delays in the trial are of no significance, saying that they've, dotted their I's, they've crossed their T's, and that they've got the correct officials in the dock to face the charges before them. Let's take a listen.
Starters, there were various assertions made that investigation started in 2017, but we must also put it out there that some of the main documents that were required were classified, meaning that IPID had to go through a rigorous process in order to get those documents declassified using the assistance of the IPID officials, as well as when the investigating director took place. We also assisted in that regard. So that's first and foremost. That on its own delayed the investigation process for the matter to eventually get to court this year. So once that has done, the investigating directorate has only had, this is about the second appearance, if I'm not mistaken, of this particular matter. We are ready for pre-trial to take place between the parties. The matter has been postponed to the 30th of January for pre-trial to take place between the parties, but it's only going to come back to court in March for the pre-trial, which will involve the presiding magistrate in the matter. By that time, all of the parties who need further and better particulars, if that is the case, would have then submitted their particular request to us to then furnish those particular additional information. But furthermore, we have also committed to have provided the indictment that all of the accused require, which has been authorized by the 30th.
All right, Slee. So I don't know if I missed that information, but when will the matter be back in court?
So there are two dates that we're looking at. The 30th of January is for legal counsel, the state, to just check in on whether everybody is furnished with any particulars that they still need. But the accused themselves will be back in court for pre-trial hearings on the 10th of March.